Hello and welcome to another MoisTea tutorial on naval action. If you are wondering how to board the AI, then you have come to the right place. It is relatively straightforward, it doesn't require too much IQ, and it's probably the most efficient way to make easy money without really having much of anything. Now, if you don't have a renomee, if you're not ranked up to that point just yet, don't worry, the same thing will apply if you're using a smaller vessel. The only time that you're going to have problems is if you start thinking about boarding first rates or second rates and things, because the enemy have been tweaked slightly, shall we say, so that they are more of a bastard to go on board. So we'll stick with the lower end stuff because there's nothing much I could do with the higher end stuff. And to be fair, if you're boarding first rates and second rates, then you've probably got a few mods on that will help with your boarding, so it'll probably end up evening out anyway. So if you are wanting to make some money and board the enemy AI, then you're going to want some perks, and the one that you're probably going to want is Privateer. Not essential, however, it will help because you are going to take losses in your crew, so you at least get some of them back. This helps save you some money, and the enemy morale is further slapped in the face, so again it might make things a little bit quicker. You don't really need anything else, to be completely honest. It's not even vital that you have that, but to be honest it's probably the only thing that really helps. But you'll be absolutely fine, don't you worry. If you are brand new and not used to sailing around on the sea yet, then you'll probably want Sextant on, because when you're roaming, then yeah, you might get lost, but this way you'll learn. Let's find a ship and get into it, shall we? And immediately we have found one, so that is another renomee. I'm going to go and grab that. When you're doing it, make sure that you are in a favourable position. You want the wind pointing the back of your ship towards the enemy if possible, so that when you are then sucked into combat, you then have the ability to dictate where the enemy ship is. So there you go. It's a shame it's dark, but never mind. So as I said, if the wind is pointing through your ship, that is exactly what you want, with the enemy just sat there. So, boarding. One thing you must note, if you do not have cannons equipped, then your boarding is rubbish. You must have cannons equipped. Trust me, it's rubbish otherwise. You don't have to use them, you don't need ball, you don't need gunpowder, just have cannons equipped. And immediately, as soon as the combat begins, get people off the cannon and stick them on boarding, which is, as you can see, the bottom right corner is now loading up your prep. We are going to charge at that enemy ship and give it a good rogering. Now that enemy ship is going to shoot you, and it's going to try and chain you, and it's probably, depending on what sort of AI it is, try and wriggle away and keep its distance, but regardless it is going to try and shoot you. Now the ship I am in is nothing special, that is one that I actually captured. I might even bring that one home as well, because why not? So as you can see, I'm just going straight at the enemy at this point, and what I want to do is slow it down. Now I could do that in a few ways. I can chop off the bowsprit, but I can't in this ship because it's the same ship, so we can't do that one. We can shove it into the wind, that's definitely a possibility. We can use our sails to wind shadow it. If you don't know what wind shadow is, so you've got this here, a big wall of sheeting. Wind on the other side of it is going to be greatly diminished because the wind is all caught up with the sails. So we could use that to slow the enemy down. If the enemy is on this side of it, where there's no wind coming through, they're not going to go anywhere. These are sailing ships. So immediately, the enemy are doing funky things. So what I am thinking of doing is swizzling them a little bit, because they are now looking at the wind, stuck in it. So I need to start slowing down immediately. So using my sails, I'm going to turn them all the way to the left, and hopefully I can slow down in time. You need to get your speed to 3.5 or lower. So looking at this, the enemy are now stuck in irons. The wind for them is pointing straight in their face. They can't go anywhere. I just now need to slow down. So the wind is coming this way currently. They're not going to go anywhere. I'm now slowing down enough pretty much and forcing the sails to slow me down. You want to depower as well. You do at the T. There we go. And now we're in. If that was a little bit confusing, I'll do another one. I'll do it in a smaller ship. But generally, how to board a vessel, get it, slow it down, and then we come to this. This is the boarding action. Immediately when it begins, you want to click on brace. You will see that the enemy have musket damage there, which probably means they're going to attack you. So at the last second, you click defend. And that defeats their counter-attack, it murders more of their crew, and it hurts their morale. Now we're going to do it again, but it looks like they're doing something different. There you go. So if their musket damage is up, then you want to click defend at the last minute. If their musket damage is 0, then you want to click attack at the last second. That makes sense, see? Very predictable. So always make sure to click on brace. So keep an eye on the musket damage. If it changes, which I don't think it's going to do, we want to attack at the last second. There you go, they've been hammered again. And as soon as you've done it, go back to brace. So it looks like they're not going to attack again, so that means we can attack. Oh, they changed at the last second. Well, never mind, we'll click on brace. And we keep repeating it. There is a 10% chance of the low level stuff to counter what you've just done, but there you go. We had similar crew. Yes, most of ours got murdered, but it is what it is. But we won that quite happily. Not bad at all. Then we've got some loot. Doubloons, everybody wants them these days. Some stuff, a bit of powder and grape and things. And I'm going to take that ship home. Oh, it's a fur agile one. Somebody might actually have that. Might even use that myself. I'm going to take it home. You can sell the ship. The doubloons you can sell. Make sure when you've grabbed it, go on retreat. It will then disappear. And then leave the battle. Now, the enemy combat ships will always go towards you and try and hurt you and attack you. Enemy traders, they will try and piss off because, well, it's a trader. They don't want to fight you. You will need a fast ship to grab them, and to be honest, I think it's more time consuming. And half the time, from what I've seen, they don't necessarily have doubloons either, which is a little bit annoying. So, yes, try and go for the combat ones. It saves you a bunch of time. Where's that ship? Agile, fur, not bad, quite quick. That's probably fast enough to grab some of those traders that I've just been on about. Not bad at all. Now, the bigger ship that you take on, the more loot that you're going to take home with you. So, for example, this, and what's that? There's a rattlesnake there. We'll go and have a tickle at that. So if you're not 100% sure on it yet, it might be worth taking on a smaller vessel. But if you're right at the bottom of the list in terms of having a little boat, then it might be worth grinding up a bit, getting your rank up, and then maybe grabbing something like a rattlesnake, which holds more crew. Nice boat is the rattlesnake. And then you can easily board something like a pickle. The more crew the enemy ship has, the more difficult it is going to be for you. But generally, if you follow that rule that we just did, then it doesn't matter if they've got the same crew, you will always win. Obviously, in more of the shallow stuff, the bigger stuff, the enemy counter you a lot more, and it's a bit of a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. We are getting there. So again, enemy ship, I'm currently facing the wrong way. We want to have the wind on it, so that we can make sure we can board this thing quickly. Swizzling around, there we go. So the wind is currently going that way. So if I get myself over here and then tag it, There we go. Get further close. Tagging now. That's a good position. And it's now going to turn around really sharply and probably mess everything up. Ah! But we might be okay. And... oh, it's doable. It's doable. So, if you look at the bottom left, the wind is currently blowing that way, and we have to go that way. And the wind... we'll get there. We'll just have to make do with it. So, again, as you can see, that rattlesnake has 83 crew. So, for those of you who are not ranked up yet, the entire thing works the exact same way. You've just got to get in your boat, make sure there's cannons on it, get your tag right, and tag is where you initiate this. Get the wind good, and then make sure you have more crew than them, go at them, board them, and then do what you want with it. So immediately, pressing the boarding button, take your people off guns, you don't need them. Firing your guns is expensive. So if you want to do it the easy way, then just replenishing your crew is probably a little bit cheaper and quicker. It does not, however, give you experience, which is one of the annoying things about it. But it is what it is. If you are wanting to level up, shooting them will be the way forward. We'll go through making money in another video. This is more just to show how to board the AI. More in the shallow stuff. If you're driving around... oh look, see the chaining me now. If you're driving around in the big boats, then I'm going to presume that you already know how to sail your boat and everything else, because you've already got there. Obviously, this is more to do with the shallow stuff, and generally the formula. So it does still apply to everybody. If you're driving around in a big boat, the enemy have a 50% chance to counter the last minute decisions. Okay, so the enemy is now backed up a little bit. I need to try and slow down. I'm probably going to overshoot this, but I'm using the sails and the wind. See, the enemy wind is... where's the wind going? Wind's going that way, so they're probably going to grab wind. I've now ballsed it up, and I need to swizzle around very quickly, but I'm not going to get there. They're currently stuck in irons. If I can get there quicker while they're currently stuck in irons, I might be okay, but I don't think I'm going to do it. Oh, damn it. So this will happen. Helps if you pay attention a bit more. But it doesn't matter. They're going to keep shooting you. It just does not matter. The enemy will keep coming at you. You will get many more opportunities. Do not waste your gunpowder or whatever else. I mean, see, look, they're going backwards now. I might be able to just grab onto them here. We'll see. I'll try going backwards myself. Depower. Shove your sails into the wind. You can see the speed is now going to go into the negative. And I might just be able to get close enough. Come on! Nearly there. Come on. There we go. Pulling. We're in. Nice. There we go. So as you can see, the enemy have 83 crew. If the enemy have more crew than you, then I suppose it's not the end of the world, but you having more definitely makes things a bit easier. So again, brace immediately. Watch their musket damage. If that is up, then they are going to counter-attack you, which means you want to defend at the last second. There you go. And then immediately click on brace. Now, musket damage is currently on 0, which means they're probably not going to do that. We want to attack at the last second instead. There you go. And then click on brace immediately. Watch the musket damage. If this goes up, then they are going to attack. If it stays at 0, we want to attack. Oh, they did it at the last second. Never mind, it doesn't matter. Click on brace again immediately. Musket damage is high, so they're probably going to attack. So we click defend at the last second, and then immediately go back on brace once it's done. So on this one, at the moment, we're going to attack because their musket damage is at 0. Shebang! Oh look, we've won. And that is another ship. You can do what you want with that. You can sell it. You can grab the doubloons from it. You get a minuscule amount of gunpowder and ball, but it is what it is. Rattlesnake, not a bad boat, Rattlesnake. Fast. Good for hunting enemy traders, especially if they're unarmed. If you want to be a nuisance, then go and slap them in the face with a rattlesnake. Heavy rattlesnake's a little bit better in my eyes. I like that boat. I mean, I'm right next to port, so I might as well take it and sell it. I might get a little bit more money from it. It might even recover the cost of repairing, well, getting more crew. And good habits, click on map, click retreat, and then leave port. I hope that that explains how boarding AI works, as best as it is, anyway. If you're using the bigger rates or boarding the bigger rates, remember the AI will do the last minute counter to what you do a hell of a lot more than what it will on these little boats that I've just been murdering now. I think it is a 50% chance or more. On the shallow stuff, it's a 10% chance, so it's not really going to make any difference. So you've just got to watch out. Any questions, do leave it in the comments. If you've got any requests for a particular video that you want to see me do, because this was a requested one, then again, put it in the comments. I do read them, and I shall endeavour to have a gander. I hope this has helped. Have a jolly good wet day. Drink tea, and I'll see you later. I'm glad you liked that one. There's more of that on your screen right now. Make sure that you tickle that before you disappear and hit the like button. That makes me rather excited, and if you hit the subscribe button, I'll be even more excited. Don't forget about the links in the description. There's plenty of good things in there, from a Discord link to instant gaming links and all of that shabazz. I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ra for now.